Conformity is death. Look at our modern society. Look how sick it is. Look how it promotes things that are not conducive for healthy, functioning, happy, healthy humans. And then look at your life, okay? And this is not a judgment, because we're born into this, and we all, to some extent, are partaking in this thing called cultural society, life, etc. But look at the things that you're doing to conform to this society, to not cause any issues with people around you. They might say this or think that or whatever. And then realize that you're conforming to a sick society, okay? This will manifest in many ways. Maybe it manifests through the broken political system, and you get wrapped up in that. Maybe this manifests in how you spend your money, trying to impress people. Maybe social media has kind of taken over your brain and is causing you to be depressed, unhappy, comparing your life, whatever. There's a lot of ways to which our sick society is causing maladaptation in you, in your mind, in your body, okay? Now, if we take just food, for example, the modern American food system, okay, and most industrialized nations are catching up with as bad as it is in America, is based on really bad, I'm not even call it research or science, but it's just based on, it's basically based on myths at this point that the public has internalized and believe are like common knowledge, and that the experts have propped up, and big pharma and doctors, whatever, have been perpetuating for years, all right? If you eat the way most people eat, you will become sick, and you may or may not become obese, but you will die an early death than you should have if you were eating real food at home, all right? What other ways does this manifest, though? So this status quo bias and this conforming to the way things are done, right? We see that if you conform to the way things are done and you eat the way everyone else eats, that you're going to take years off your life. This is just not disputable at this point. What other things, though, along these lines of conformity and doing what other people are doing, what other traps are you going to be led into? What other things are going to hurt you in the long run? Maybe that's student loan debt. Maybe that is going to school for years to get some high-paying job doing something you don't enjoy, like maybe becoming a lawyer or doctor or engineer. You don't really want to do that, but you're trying to please people. Maybe your idea of making more money and happiness and that flawed equation that the American dream has built into you is causing you to do all kinds of destructive things. Maybe you're comparing your life to others is causing you to be depressed, or is contributing to your depression, and therefore you're turning to drugs and other just destructive behaviors. Maybe you are so wrapped up in this idea of who you think you should be, that is really a creation of society and pop culture and your family and whatever, that you end up doing nothing, or you're not living your true self, or you're not doing the things you really want to do, or it just goes on and on and on. We're all doing this to some extent, okay? So pick some of those things that are the most mismatched to who you are and start challenging them, find better ways, find alternatives, questioning deep, like ask 10 questions. Why do I want to do this? Why am I pursuing this? And then with that answer, you ask why again, and then you ask why again, and then you ask why again. And then eventually, through enough whys, you'll get down to some core reason. You know, maybe you're compensating for something in childhood, or you want people to like you or accept you or this or that or whatever. If you conform to what everyone else does, what society does, you will become a card-holding member of that sick society, which will define you, or what will define you will be the things that the average person that is conforming to society has and does and thinks and feels and whatever. And if you look at American society, I would not want to be an average American. Not in body and mind. So it requires challenging everything, questioning everything, and building a life for yourself. And unfortunately, we have this thing called the internet that gives all humans, but it gives us the unlimited opportunity to build any life we want. I mean, yeah, before some of the different things that have come up in 2020, over the years, early 1900s, back, further back you go, it has been harder to do these things. And conformity, in some cases, might have kept you alive. Whereas today, you're not under risk of death if you decide to live a different life. Like, we have so much opportunity, it's insane. But again, as most things, people just default to their environment, they follow the pack, and they never question why why do we do it this way? Or better yet, why am I doing it this way? Like, why am I forcing these things that aren't natural to me? Why am I doing them and forcing them and ignoring my truth? Why am I doing that? And as you'll see, it's mostly because of human nature and people around you and environmental constraints and factors and stressors. There's a lot to it. It's amazing when you just ask why and you really genuinely try to answer it for yourself.